Hey, what's going on? I'm Jake. Welcome to KALE Robot. This is where I cook vegetable-heavy, allergy-friendly food that tastes awesome and makes me feel good. Today, I'll be preparing a taco for springtime. So, like any good taco, it's going to start off with a fresh-made corn tortilla. On top of that's going to go a sunny-side-up egg, then shaved asparagus, hoja santa powder, and it's going to get finished with a salsa enyerbada, which is a salsa verde loaded with herbs, chilies, and lime. So let's jump right into it and talk tortillas. All right, so while fresh corn masa is usually always going to be the aspiration for a top tier tortilla, it's not always a practical option. It's going to require a heavy, big, expensive piece of gear, a big mill to let you grind the corn and make that fresh masa. However, the next best option is getting a good quality masa harina. I'm very partial to the stuff that is coming from Masienda. On their website, you can buy different varietals of masa harina using corn that's yellow, red, blue, white. So you get all these different options for your tortillas. Today, I'm going to be using the yellow masa harina, and I think I'm actually going to jump right into it now. Making the tortillas is the first thing I do when I'm making a taco because it allows it time to steam while the other components are being prepared. So without further ado, this is how I make tortillas. Next up, salsa. Any good taco requires a good salsa that works along with it. Today I'm making a salsa enyerbada. Enyerbada is a term that I learned in one of my cookbooks. The recipe in that one was carpa enyerbada. Carpa enyerbada translates in that cookbook to carp with herbs. According to Google Translate, it means enyerbada means weeded, which fortunately for me works perfectly because I am using as my main herb here dill, which is famously also a weed. Now, this also totally works because it's got a solid foundation. Most of my salsas, I like to use a base of shallots cured in lime juice as well as some chilies. Today I'm going to be using serranos and chiles de arbol. I'm using dill here because I think is able to have a conversation sort of with all the ingredients here and tie things together. That's generally the role of the salsa. Like most salsas as well, this one gets a little bit better the longer it sits. So just giving a little extra time for this one is why I have it sort of next in the timeline of building this taco. So these are the steps, and this is how I make it. All right, so confession. I love asparagus. It's really awesome. It's one of my favorite foods. It makes me really excited for springtime. It's usually one of the first vegetables that's poking its head up this time of year. So I'm psyched to be cooking with it here. For the tacos, I'm going to be shaving the asparagus. It's going to be not too thin, not too thick, and I'm going to cure it with some salt. This is one of my favorite techniques to apply to asparagus specifically. It basically, what's going to happen is you treat it like a dry brine with meat. It works in the same way. So when you season the inside of the asparagus, the flesh of the asparagus with the salt, it's going to first draw the moisture out, and then it's going to pull it actually right back in along with the salt, the sodium. And it just flavors the thing from the inside out. I add the hoja santa at this time because it helps pull in some of that flavor as well, so it's not just sort of sitting on the surface. Let me show you just sort of how easy this is and the couple of quick steps it takes to make it. So there's few things as charming as a sunny side up egg. It's, first of all, it's cheap, it's beautiful, it's delicious. It's also incredibly simple to make. It just requires a little bit of patience. The egg yolk in this taco is going to be the only fat, so it's important that I'm going to cook this as precisely as I can. It's the only thing really that's required here is patience. So low and slow here until the egg whites have just set and the yolk has the perfect amount of runniness. All right, so check it out. All right, that's it. We just finished. So what did we just make? We just made fresh corn tortilla, salsa enyorbada, salt and hoja santa cured asparagus, and lastly some sunny up eggs to make this killer taco. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna chow down. Hope you try this at home. Thanks for coming. I'll see you next time. Bye.